Good evening and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I'm your host, Reverend Mary Hawk, and sitting here with me is Reverend Don. Thank you for joining me this evening.
Thank you for having me.
So, I'm very pleased to have Reverend Don here with me in Nashville. He'll be one of our featured presenters Saturday at Nashville Pagan Pride Day, where he'll be talking about you and astrology. And I'm sure the Eye of Odin will be coming up.
I suspect it will, yes.
And so, thank you to everyone who is joining us. And if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, please join us for Nashville Pagan Pride Day. We will be at Two Rivers Park behind the Wave Pool across from Opry Mills Mall, Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Hello, Reverend Michael. Good to see you. I hope you weren't affected by Helene.
Good to see you, Mike.
And if anyone has a question for us, go ahead and post your question in chat. And we will do a 3-card, more or less, spread.
Do you think this ring is big enough?
No, I think you need a much bigger ring.
Yes. Years ago, working psychic fairs, I learned that tarot card readers should have rings.
Do I have enough rings? What do y'all think? Am I wearing enough rings?
This ring, I enjoy this ring because it's just so strident. But it reminds me a little bit of Rosemary's Mini. If you remember Rosemary's Baby and Ruth Gordon wearing this big 2-finger ring that covered most of her fingers.
Yes.
I've never quite found one that big. If I did, I'd wear it.
Michael, I'm glad to see you came out okay with Helene. I'm so glad to hear that.
Yes, indeed.
You know, I have tried 2-finger rings and I just found I wasn't comfortable.
Yeah. I think you'd have to get used to them at least.
And I didn't find it comfortable.
This is probably about as large as any ring that I own. But I could go big.
I'm sure you could go bigger. The Peter sight ring is probably the largest ring I should own, since it literally covers 1 finger to the knuckle.
Well, I was just doing a class at Witch School on the subject of walking with the discarnate and talking about the Corellian ancestors. And one of the things we talked about was jewelry.
Yes.
And presentation of appearance, and how this was always very important in my family, and certainly not unique to me. And
Hello to Jody Ray. Do you have a specific question or do you just want a general reading?
oh wow, you can actually see me shuffling my cards.
Yes, you can.
Usually I just have to assure people that I'm shuffling them.
Yes, although I am going to come over here to shuffle them on the table.
Of course, usually I'm sitting on a chair, whereas today I'm sitting on the floor, which is why we're the same height.
I gave him the chair that's adjusted lower, so I actually appear a little bit taller. Which, if you met us in person, you know he's literally a foot taller than me.
Yes. And hello to Renee in the chat.
Hi, Renee. So we'll do a general reading for Jody. And hello to Kai. Good to see you. and a general reading for Janet. All right, so the first card I have got for you, Jody, is the Hierophant. And this is telling you that you need prayer and meditation right now. You've got the Princess of Pentacles. This is telling you you have the material resources you need, but you are holding back for some reason. And then finally, I've got the Five of Wands, which indicates there's going to be some conflict around your issue. Let me draw one more card. And I've got the Universe, which it's kind of hard to see, but it's not just black. There are stars there. So you're coming to the end of the cycle, and there are infinite possibilities available for you.
So I have drawn 3 cards, and the first one is the King of Cups, followed by the Ace of Coins, followed by the Seven of Lamps. And what does this mean? King of Cups is happiness. So I think that you're going to find yourself coming into a period where you have quite a bit of happiness around you. Not necessarily saying that's where you are right now, but you're coming into it. Also money, prosperity. So I think that you're going to find that whatever you might be worried about, the means to fix that are there, and it will be fixed. But first, you have the Seven of Lamps. Seven of Lamps is self-purification. And what it means in a question like this is that you must clarify your intentions and your energy. You need to look at your motivations. You need to make sure that you're doing what you need to be doing, that you're not manifesting your fears instead of your hopes, and cleanse your energy in various ways. And if you do that, you're going to find yourself in a happy and prosperous position. Let me draw one more because, of course, I've drawn the Six of Coins. And the Six of Coins says that you will have help in doing this, and that the universe really is moving in a way that will help to propel you. And there you go.
All right. I'm going to scroll back up a little. Okay. And Jody says, thank you. You're most welcome. And Renee has asked for a general reading. Okay, you watched me shuffle and shuffle. You watched me shuffle, shuffle, and shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Renee, he watched me. I have pulled the same 3 cards for you. So we have the Hierophant, which is advising prayer and meditation for you. We have got the Princess of Pentacles. And this is telling you you're in a good position financially, even if you're holding back. And I've got the Five of Wands, which is indicating some conflict in the future. And I drew one more card, and this time I got the Tower. So you are looking at some radical change in your near future.
And the 3 cards I have drawn are the King of Lamps, the Nine of Cups, and the Moon. And what do these mean? The King of Lamps. King of Lamps is meditation, self-knowledge, self-focus. So focus on the things you need. Make sure you're doing your meditation. Make sure you're connected to spirit. The Nine of Cups is called the Wish card, and it says to be careful what you're wishing for. Make sure you're wishing for what you want, what you fear, Keep your manifestation positive because you're going to get what you're putting your energy on. So put your energy on the results that you want. And then the moon is magic. And it says, use your higher self, use your magic to help to get the outcome that you desire. And you certainly can have it. I'm going to draw one more card because we call this the Brian card. And I've drawn the Death card. And the Death card is transformation. And it says that in addition to everything I've already said, you're going through a period of transformation, a period of increasing self-knowledge, a period ideally in which things you wish for will become more part of your life. So there you go.
And bear with me for just a moment, folks. All right. Had a little technical issue there. Next, we have a general reading for Janet. Okay, so I've got the Queen of Pentacles. So this is indicating good fortune on the material plane. I have Death, which is indicating transformation. And I have the Five of Lamps. And this is someone who is setting off on a spiritual quest. And I'm going to draw one more card for you. And I have the Seven of Cups, which is indicating a lot of choices among equally good things. So you're in a very good position right now. You're looking at a lot of transformation, but you're in a very good position.
And the three cards I have drawn are the Six of Coins, the Nine of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. And as you saw, I was shuffling the cards. First card, the Six of Coins, says that you're going to have help in dealing with the situations that are before you, perhaps the help of individuals, perhaps the help of the universe. The energies are moving in the right direction to take you to where you want to go. The Nine of Cups, the Wish card, says be careful that you are in fact aiming for where you want to go. Make sure that you are clear in your desires, clear in your wishes, because what you're wishing for, where you're putting your energy, is what you will get. And the Eight of Wands says, oh yes, and you'll get it fast. So I would look for positive transformations as long as you keep your focus clear, and I would look for them to come very quickly. So I would say that you're looking at a good situation. There you go.
Okay. And all right. And let's see here. Financial outlook for Kai for the next 6 months. And hello to Arlene.
Hello, Arlene.
And Arlene says LGM, they won. Don't know what that means, Arlene. But I don't follow sports, so there you have it. Okay. Well, Kai, I got 3 cards and not a pentacle in the bunch. But we've got the Queen of Swords, and she says to look at past situations, see what worked, see what didn't work, and use that to consider your current course. We've got the Prince of Swords, which is talking about be selfish in the sense that you consider your own needs. You give and give and give to everyone else because I know you, Kai. So be sure you are getting your own needs met and be a little selfish and be sure you get whatever it is you want in the next 6 months. And I've got the Queen of Wands. Wands are around our passions. So, again, if there's something you're passionately wanting, now is the time to get it. But overall, these are favorable cards. So, I'm seeing things are looking good for you in the next 6 months.
And I too have drawn 3 cards, none of which is a pentacle, but the first of which are the stars. And the stars represent hope. They represent the ability to get what you desire. They also represent meditation and connection to the higher self. And I would say that these are both relevant here. You have every reason to hope for a good outcome, and you want to make sure that you remain spiritually connected while you pursue that. With it is the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man says, oh, yes, but it's going to be a while. There's some waiting involved, there's some patience needed. Of course, the story of the Hanged Man, Odin hangs from the world tree for 9 days to receive the runes, but he does receive the runes. But as you can see in the picture, he's in the process of waiting. And so as you go forward, be patient, let things take the time they need, understand they're going in a good direction. It's followed by the Magos. And the Magos is the ability to work your will in the situation to have what you desire. So it's going in a good direction. It's going to where you want it to go, but be patient while you're on the way. I also drew a Brian card to go with this. And I drew the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, again, is about waiting and patience. So I would take it to mean that your outlook in this next 6 months is good, but it will require patience, and the outcome will be very good. Be prepared to let it take the time it needs to assume the shape that you desire. And within that context, it looks good.
Okay. And Michael has asked for a general reading. Okay. So, Michael, I have got the Six of Swords. And excuse me, folks, this refers to a journey. It could be a physical journey, it could be a spiritual journey. My sense here is it's a physical journey. I've got the King of Cups, which refers to happiness. And then I've got the Ace of Swords. This is about a decision. And when it comes, don't hesitate. Just make a decision and go for it.
And the 3 cards I have drawn are the Four of Wands, the Nine of Cups again, and the Body. And what do these mean? The Four of Wands is celebration, happiness, success, something that you've worked for. The Nine of Cups is the wish card. It's getting what you've wished for. And as long as you've wished for what you really want, you'll be happy with it. And the Body says also make sure you're taking care of yourself and that you're having the pleasures that you desire in your life, that you are not denying yourself the things you really want. Within these contexts, everything looks really good.
Okay. And let's scroll down a little. Oh, for Pete's sake, folks. And let's see. We need, as Ed said, hello to Ed, who says we need a shuffle sound effect. I'll look into that. Arlene says the New York Mets won. Kai says very helpful. Thank you both. Hello to Bonnie, and Rev Michael says thank you. You are welcome. Maggie needs a reading, and Jody Ray says thank you, and her hubby Jack would like a reading.
And so which one is next?
Okay, so Jody Ray's husband Jack is next, and then Maggie is next after Jack. Shuffle sound effect. I'm tempted to outsource that one to the 15-year-old. If you're ready, go ahead.
The cards I have drawn are the Six of Coins, the Six of Swords, and Magic. Pardon me for a moment. It was not an escapee while I was shuffling, but afterwards. So the six of coins again is health. Whatever you're dealing with, whatever it is you're attempting to do or to deal with in the near future, you won't be dealing with it alone. That can be the help of a person, or it could be the help of the universe itself. But it's saying that the help that you need is going to be there. The Six of Swords represents a journey, can be a physical journey. So it may be that you have a trip or a move in front of you that is part of what you're asking about, or could also be an internal type of journey where you're learning new things that really change how you look at the world. But definitely a major change. It's followed by magic. Magic says you can do with it what you want to do with it. Magic is the ability to, again, to basically manifest what you desire and have it be your outcome. So keep your manifestations, keep your desires positive, and you'll have a good outcome from it all. And there you go.
Okay, the first card I have for you is the Seven of Pentacles, which means having several good options in the material world and considering them carefully. The next card I have is the Queen of Swords. That means you need to consider what has worked in the past, what didn't work in the past, and make a decision based on that. And then I've got the Empress, and this is a card of good fortune. It's a card of the Mother Goddess. It's got a very strong, loving energy to it. So, overall, this is a very fortunate reading for Jack.
Yes.
All right. And then let's scroll down to Maggie. And Maggie says, hello, I'm back from upstate New York. I was there for 3 months. My health is not good.
Oh.
Sorry to hear that, Maggie. Doctors don't know what I have, what is wrong. Can I have a health reading, please?
Hello, Maggie. We're glad you're back, and we will shuffle cards for you.
Yes, and I'm so sorry to hear you're not doing well. I'm getting my cards over the table. If I have an escapee, I'm not diving. At least I don't want to dive. You can go ahead.
So, the first card I have drawn is the Nine of Swords. The second card is the Ace of Swords. And the third card is the Three of Pentacles. So the Nine of Swords is called the Ghastly Nightmare card. And what it means is that whatever you're afraid of in the situation, you're going to have to face. Does not mean that it's as bad as you think it is. It just means you must face it. Like a nightmare, it isn't necessarily going to hurt you unless you fall out of bed trying to get away from it. So don't try to get away from it, face it directly. Take the bull by the horns and deal with whatever this health issue is quickly, and you'll find things will go much better. There will be one or more decisions involved in how you handle this, and you want to trust yourself in making those decisions, and do not put them off a long period of time, but make those decisions as they come up. And the Three of Coins is learning and success. And so it says, yeah, you're going to learn a bit through this experience, but you'll come out of it well, provided you do the things that have been described. The outcome card is quite positive. Let us draw one more for you. And the last one is the King of Lamps. And the King of Lamps, again, is meditation and also paying attention to yourself. And so it says, do not be distracted by everything else. Deal with whatever the problem is, take it by the horns. And at this time, it can be a very good outcome still. So there you go.
All right. The first card I've got for you is the Four of Swords. And this card says you need to rest. So give yourself some space just to rest and heal. And then I've got the King of Cups, which is about happiness. So you are going to come out on the other end. And then I've got the Three of Lamps. And this is about working together in community. So you may need to work with other people to complete your healing. Or this may mean when you come out on the other side, you're going to be working on a community project. But you are going to come through this and you are going to be happy for it. So I hope that's helpful, Maggie. All right. And Jack says, thank you very much. And Ed has asked for a quick reading. Where is my path heading? All right. Maybe the shuffle sound combined with Jeopardy music That might get us in trouble.
Yes. Okay. So I have drawn heart, 10 of swords, Prince of Wands, and then also the Nine of Cups. And what this says to me, the first card, heart, says that you must do what your heart tells you. You must have your passion involved in what you're doing, and your path will follow your passion. The Ten of Swords is letting go of the old to embrace the new. The new is not quite there, but the letting go of the old is necessary for it to come. The Prince of Wands says to be careful of dissipating your energy. Focus is important to achieve what you want to do. And the final card, the Nine of Cups, says that you can achieve what you're wishing for, but you need to make certain that you are in fact wishing for what you think you are wishing for, and keep your manifestation focused.
So I have the Princess of Lamps. So this is about focusing on your spiritual journey. I have the future. So here we have either Daedalus or Icarus. We don't know which. So this is about flying forward, but doing it wisely, so you don't get too close to the sun and burn the wax off your wings. And then we have the sun. So this is about a very positive outcome as long as you move forward wisely, because you've got the sun in the previous card.
And there we go.
There we go. And let's see. Jack says, thank you very much for the reading. We appreciate both of you. Much love and light. Maggie says, thank you so much. I'll be going down to see Lord Don when he's available.
Oh, wonderful.
And we're at the half hour, so it is time for a word from our sponsors.
Yay, sponsors.
We love our sponsors. And thank you to Equinox Learning Hub. And then we have one more sponsor.
Ready to unlock the secrets of the universe? Join me, Reverend Don Lewis, for my metaphysical and magic auctions at Gaia Thrift at whatnot.com. Discover fascinating artifacts, mystical crystals, and rare and unusual books that could change your life. Don't miss this chance to bring a little magic into your world. Reverend Don's Metaphysical and Magic Auctions, where the extraordinary can become yours.
And the next Metaphysical and Magic auction will be Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central.
So, hope to see everyone there.
Yes, indeed. You never know what we might have.
I have gotten some very interesting things.
Yes, you have.
Okay. And if anyone has a question, please go ahead and post it in chat. And while we're waiting, would you like to talk to us a little bit about Odin's Eye?
Yes, I can talk to you a little bit about Odin's Eye. I would assume most people are aware that we have a temporary second moon circling the Earth. Some people are calling it a mini moon. It is in its normal life a comet which has been captured by the Earth's orbit and will be circling us as a second moon until November 25th. This is called Odin's Eye. And in terms of its meaning, it is connected to seeing what is not normally visible, both in the sense of things that are hidden coming to light and also in the sense of psychic information, psychic abilities, particularly oracular work, prophecy, clairvoyance. And these are the things we would expect to see highlighted during this period of time. Greater psychic influences, perhaps particular prophecies coming forward toward the future, and also the revelation of things which have not previously been known. So I think it's going to be a very interesting couple of months. Today on Midday with Reverend Don, we talked about how to work with Odin's Eye and your third eye toward increasing your psychic abilities and your psychic practice. And we'll be talking more about that in the future.
Excuse me.
Absolutely.
Right. And does anyone else have a question for us? And hello to Marianne. I'm doing well. I hope you are.
Yes, indeed.
Hello, Rolando. It's so good to see you.
Oh, Rolando, hello. Always good to see Rolando. Always good to see everyone.
It is.
When I think back to my youth and long before things like the internet were in use, and consider how far we've come, it's really quite amazing.
It truly is, although you're not that much older than me, so I wish you wouldn't make it sound so far away.
It was only a different century.
Yes, but technology has changed so much.
It has, absolutely. And is still changing.
Yes. And Janet shares with us my mental clarity seems to be increasing. Also, there are things about my family being revealed that are painful. I'm sorry to hear that, Janet, but if it's being revealed to you, it's time that they came to light.
Yes.
And
That's definitely the kind of effect we would expect to see from the Odin's Eye.
yes. And Marianne says, any wisdom for me? Certainly. Yeah, we have an escapee already. As do you.
Yeah,
Can you reach it?
probably.
Okay. Okay.
So I have drawn the Eight of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. And my escapee was Temperance. So what do we get from these? Well, from the Eight of Wands, we get speed. So for Marianne, I would think the things that are happening in your life in the immediate future, the next couple of months, will happen very quickly. So be prepared for situations developing quickly, be prepared to need to have quick reactions to them. With it is the Five of Swords, which is conflict, could be inner conflict, could be outer conflict. But some of those things happening quickly are not necessarily going to be comfortable things. There are things that may involve conflict, either inner or outer, but it's followed by the Ten of Cups, which is happiness. Ten of Cups is happy family. And so I would look for some situations developing quickly that may be somewhat uncomfortable but need to be dealt with, but will lead you to a good, happy situation. The escapee, Temperance, is creating new situations from old situations. So I would say that you're going to be transforming some of your situations for the better. And if while you're in the process of having that transformation, it doesn't feel like it's for the better, just remember this reading and that it's going to turn out for the better. And you'll find that in fact will.
Okay. So I have drawn Judgment, and this means you are going to be receiving the rewards of something you've been working towards for a long time. I've got the Ten of Swords, which means you're coming to the end of the cycle, and I'm reading that in conjunction with Judgment. So you are wrapping something up. I've got the Four of Wands, which this is showing a marriage, but this could also be some form of a partnership. It's getting something you're working for, a happy occasion. And then the card that escaped is the High Priestess. So this is talking about working with your higher self and being in communion with your higher self. So I hope you find that helpful. And Maggie says, until I see Lord Don, can you send me healing energy, please?
Absolutely. Let us take a moment, since I think we're out of questions for this moment,
We are.
and send some healing energy to Maggie.
Like,
I want you to join me in imagining Maggie. You've met Maggie, so you
yes, I know Maggie.
imagining Maggie and see her clearly in your mind and from your heart. Become aware of your heart chakra and see it pulsing with energy. And in that energy, place healing. And Maggie, to your higher self, we say, we send you this healing and ask you to accept it and use it to your highest good. And from your heart, send forth a beam of clear white light to Maggie. We ask everyone to join us in sending healing energy from their heart to Maggie. And in your beam of clear white light, send forth the healing energy and let it go to her and see it reaching her and filling her with a beautiful clear light. See the clear light filling Maggie and radiating out on all sides. And Maggie, again, we ask you to accept this healing energy and use it to the highest good. By our will, we will it, so mote it be.
So let it be. Okay. And does anyone else have a question for us? And I'm also going to add that if anyone would like to book a private reading with Reverend Don or with me, you can do so at divinationtv.com.
And of course, we are in October when they say the veil becomes thin, and also the witch's new year. And so if you're looking for a New Year's reading, now is the time to book it. And we are both available.
Yes, we are. And we have a question from Ray. And Ray asks, hello, everyone. Do you think spiritual energy can seriously intensify the more people taking part?
Oh, yes, absolutely. The more people who are spiritually open and come together, the more they can do. Back in the days when I worked psychic fairs, one of the benefits of going to a psychic fair is that everybody gets a little bit more psychic by everybody being together.
Mm-hmm.
The same is true for magic, or anything, well, really anything at all, because all people have their own energy, and when they bring it together, it will tend to intensify everything.
And Maggie says, I'm very grateful. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Maggie.
One thing I have done is go to local Reiki shares
Mm-hmm.
and they're led by one Reiki master, and not everyone there has got any form of Reiki attunement, but she just leads us through putting healing energy on different people where they need it. And it's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I'm a great believer in solitary practice and personal development, but I will agree that when you have a group working on something,
Mm-hmm.
everybody will be better off for the jointure of energies.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that you can't do good things alone, but it will um, it will intensify the more people are involved. And when that's a large group, well, it's like our Correllian illustrations. I always remember the story from one of our members who was doing the blessing of the salt and the water. It was her first lustration. She'd never been to one before. This was the lustration in Salem, Massachusetts. And she found herself shaking like a leaf, her words. And she said, I don't know why this is. Um, I shouldn't be having these symptoms. I've done this working many, many times. I'm quite familiar with it. I don't understand what's going on. Having completed the blessing, she picks up the blessed salt and water, turns to the room and sees all the high priesthood doing this, sending their energy to strengthen her. And she realized that's what I was feeling, was all the energy of all the people in this room who are highly developed. And yes, it really does make a difference.
At our regional illustration, I came within a wrist brace because my right thumb was very, very sore.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, after the lustration, where you had called down the healing blessing on the ancestors,
Mm-hmm.
my thumb quit hurting.
Yes, all kinds of things can happen, and energy healing is a real thing. Energy is a real thing, and um, the way to come to understand that is by experiencing it.
Yes.
You can talk about it to people, but a lot of times only the experience really conveys it. Because sometimes if you've never had that kind of experience, it just doesn't seem sensible from a mundane world point of view. But once you've experienced it, you can't deny it.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Ray says really nice, and Jody Ray says, I'm so enjoying this conversation. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, good.
I'm glad you are.
Well, I'm a great believer, again, in solitary work and personal development, and also in group work. And I think that any person's practice can can benefit from both of these. I don't think
Great.
it should be a one. I think it should be an and when possible. And of course, not everyone can find a physical group to work with, but now that we have the technology we have,
Yes.
um, we can meet online and we can still sync our energies, even though we're far away from each other through this technology. It works perfectly well. I know when we first started using it, some people said, "Oh, that you can't do a reading over the internet." Well, they were wrong. Yes, you can. You do, and we're doing them.
We do internet readings every Thursday night. We do Sabbath rituals every Sabbath.
Mhm. Um, yeah, it is in some ways not unlike a physicalization of the astral plane. I've made that point a few times that many of the things we're doing here, we formerly did through meditation, um, but they still work basically the same way. You don't have to be in the same room to link your energy to someone else. You don't have to be physically with the group to work with a group. You don't have to be physically in the presence of a reading subject to be able to read them. And of course, some of these things we already knew, others are things we're learning as we go.
Right. But even before the internet was so developed, I would agree to meditate at the same time as my teacher on certain subjects
Yeah.
or
Um,
perform rituals
mhm.
at the same time toward certain ends. And they came to pass because at that time she was in East Tennessee and I was here in Middle Tennessee.
Mhm.
So,
And that was Gray Cat.
yes, that was
Yes.
Gray Cat.
It's very interesting that many years ago, Gray Cat and I were very close friends. Um, and then at a certain point, we lost touch with one another, and it turns out that Mary had studied under her.
Yes, I had studied under her at one point, and then later I joined the Corellian tradition.
And for people who don't know, Gray Cat was the head of the North Wind tradition, but also the publisher of the Crone Papers. And it was particularly in that light that I knew her. I did a lot of artwork for the Crone Papers, and at that time, in the world of the pagan press, I was one of the few people who did realistic portraits of older women. And so I was very popular with the Crone Papers because so many of the artists did what were called Barbie goddesses, um, which of course is not socially uncommon at all.
Jody Ray says we need a 24-hour healing circle with people changing shifts around the clock. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
And Jody Ray says, I absolutely agree. I have experienced healing through the internet. I can also tell from the readings I got from the two of you that you do know the universe and the energy is there.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
It is interesting.
And hello to Pratik.
Hello.
Good to see you.
One of the groups that I am also involved in is the Fellowship of Isis. Back in the day, they did a lot of ritual by attunement because their headquarters at that time was in Ireland. But their membership was in many different places. And so they would do their many rituals by attunement with people attuning their energy from different continents. And they were quite successful.
So, well,
Well-
we are getting near the end of the hour, so will you close us with a prayer, please?
Absolutely. Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you for all that you do for us in our lives, and we rejoice in this walk we walk together. And we ask you to help us to remain open to the messages of Spirit, whether through divination or through other psychic means. Help us to find the best ways to take advantage of the many opportunities in our lives and to move forward in happiness and good fortune. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, knowing you are always with us, but from respect, we thank you for your presence, and may you be blessed now and always. We thank you for your presence, and may you be blessed now and always also.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back next Thursday for another edition of Tarot Thursday. And check out my daily tarot readings every weekday at 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m.